Aye.
You are one of them things, them man, you go up on the ear. 5, 4, 3, 2.
One and countdown, and
Yeah,
we are live. Yes, give thanks to the life giver and the keeper of life, Holy Emmanuel, I Selassie.
Selassie,
Yeah.
Jah,
Right. Right.
Rastafari.
Yes, royal family, blessed love once again. Give thanks for your presence with us on another beautiful evening, another beautiful Sunday evening as we settle in and gather in. Definitely welcome to the House of Priests, Honorable Priest Isaac and the Honorable Kes Westmore, the Honorable Priest Richie here with you for another sit down,
Wow.
another
Yes,
wonderful session as we, as usual, take this to another level and another heights. So, as usual, we have a wonderful program for you this evening as we will be reasoning about the real King Emmanuel, addressed to the UN right here, and welcome to the House of Priests. So I would humbly ask the honorable leading priest, Kes Westmore, to bless the congregation and lead us into a word of reverence, even before we get into the conversation. Royal Majesty, blessed
my
Lord.
Lord. Yes, Lord.
Thanks.
Royal Black Supremacy Reverence, Four Wings Universally, Internationally, Earth, Sky, and Sea. Holy Emmanuel I, Selassie I, Jah, Rastafari. Thy kingdom come, O God, thy rule, O Christ, begin. Break with thine iron rod the tyrannies of sin. King Emmanuel 7, down I God, Jah, Rastafari. Glory be to our Father, and to the Son, and to the Holy One of creation. As Jah was in the beginning, is now, and ever shall be, Jah world without end. Selassie, Jah, Rastafari. Oh, come Emmanuel, and ransom captive Israel that mourn in lowly exile here as they wait upon the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords to appear. Give thanks for the fundamental rights of freedom, redemption, international repatriation. Give thanks to know that everything is done, O thou Most High God. Give I thy the strength continually, O thou Most High, to walk in thy truth and thy lights, and to fulfill thy mission from earth to Zion, let thy will be done, Most High. Holy Emmanuel, I, Selassie, Jah, Rastafari. Give thanks to life again, my Lord Majesty, Royal Empress, congregation, blessed love.
Yes, my Lord, and all is well. Thanks for the
All is well, my Lord. We love life.
true, my Lord. Yes, I will of life continually. Well, we
Sure.
have a beautiful sit down for the royal people this evening. Just reminding everyone, this is really an exclusive radio and program. This evening, we are not only premiering, we are premiering. Someone will say we live. Well, you don't know. I mean, we always live, even if it's a rebroadcast. Just make sure you know that it's live. I don't know what else it can be. So we always live, but we here now, now what did it be? Today is the 19th of the 11th month, November, and it's 8:21 p.m. Eastern Caribbean time. We live, as they say. So we give thanks for your presence with us, As I said, this is so that means if that's not the right time and the date, you're listening to a live rebroadcast. Yeah. So give thanks again, continually, Royal Family, as we sit in for another episode, another reasoning. And we have a real serious, as always, sit down this evening. And in a few strongs, it's going to be what they call the United Nations Declaration of Human Rights Day, the 10th of December, which is, amongst the feast of the remembrance of the Passover and some other astronomical heights, wherein we have the rising of the constellation of Sahu. And of course, in the Sumerian tablets, they call it the rising of the shepherd of Anu and the twins. So you can see it's a very extensive subject by itself. But for the moment, let's just concentrate on the United Nations Declaration of Human Rights aspect of it. And again, that's the 10th of December, of course, once the United Nations formed in the 1940s after World War II. Somewhat like the League of Nations that was formed after World War I to really kind of prevent more World War again. And even as we speak now, you can see the United Nations begging and pleading, is not real, to stop dropping bombs on the Palestinians there. So you can see the thing is real terrible. But what we have here, my lord, to present to the family is one of those many famous pamphlets that was prepared by the Ethiopia Africa Black International Congress, prepared by the Black Christ in flesh himself. And this is a document that I would have done a program utilizing it a while back. It's almost like 5 years ago. And what was really outstanding about it, more than anything else, is that to me, and I also utilized it in the documentary Seven too. And you want to know the documentary Seven? I actually read a good portion of it in Seven. Because what it does, we came up in Rastafari at a time when many ones were trying to prove the true God. It was who proving the right God, and even amongst Rastafari, you want to say, boy, Emmanuel is not no part of the Trinity. And I myself, for sure, I came up amongst a lot of that kind of friction and energy. In Rasta, outside of Rasta, Christian, Muslim, it was just the thing. I guess maybe that's why my soul so sharp, because, around me, you had to know whatever you say you're defending, you had to have it concrete. So of course, the Bible and these books and these things was definitely a source where an individual will go to say, but look at here in the Bible, and look at here in the Bible, and look, the New Testament said this, and Genesis said that. Now, the Honorable King Emmanuel Charles Edwards, as a man amongst us, differently than Bible, differently than religion, differently than philosophy, differently than theology. Whether a man believe he's God, whether a man believe he's Christ, whatever, there's certain aspects of his tradition through the earth that stands out in awe and amazement, at least to me, when you see the certain level of correspondence that he would have had in the earth, proves that he was a man of substance amongst I and I. And when we observe his presence, for example, directly with Haile Selassie the first of all, when the King of Kings clearly showed them that, listen, he have a mission in Kingston when the Jamaican government was telling the emperor, hey, listen, man, we want to come and set up an embassy, and we can have ambassadors going back and forward. And the king showed them he don't have an ambassador, and the man was like, well, who that could be? I'm going to pay him a visit. You understand? We already comprehend, and this document is going to prove that the relationship that Haile Selassie has with the Honorable King Emmanuel Charles Edwards, and I use the term has in present tense too, with the Honorable King Emmanuel Charles Edwards, is more than just Revelation chapter 5 and the lamb, the lion, and Daniel when the angel of the days met the sun. It's all of that too. But in let's say realistic geopolitical terms, when the king met Prince Emmanuel in King's house, that was a diplomatic connection. Yeah, spiritual, prophetic, biblical, mystic, a heap of things too. But it was diplomatic, raw diplomacy. And that is because of the genuine hard work that the Honorable King Emmanuel Charles Edwards would have put into the mission. I could say a lot more, but I'm going to leave that for an intro. And what I would do, my Lord, King, and I really show in the eye, but the eye is the master of them things here. Let me just be clear here. When it comes to the documents and preserving the documents, and even on the I platform 77 Redeem 77, you would have done more than several, a good amount of programs where you highlight the different documents that the Honorable King Emmanuel Charles Edwards would have brought forward. So it is up to the eye. I don't know if you would like me to read the document. I would like to read the letterhead for sure. And if the eye desire me to read the document, I would. But if the eye would like to take the honors, it will be my pleasure as well. But for sure, I would like to read the letterhead.
We both could share the documents, my lord. Yeah, I could go through one, you know.
Okay, well, let me start with the letterhead then.
Majesty.
I don't have no shaker close by. I don't know about the eye, but
Yeah, you don't know.
well, the conquering lion shall break every chain. Yes. Ethiopia Royal Nation Wealth Kingdom. Ethiopia Poor People National and International Freedom League Government. Melchizedek Righteous Kingdom Black Supremacy Government for the Poor and Have-Nots. United Black Wealth Sovereign Nation. Lord of Hosts, the I Am, the I Am. Repatriation internationally, the Fifth Kingdom of Jesus stands for equality and justice for all people. Ethiopia, Africa Black International Congress, Church of Salvation. The Sabbath to be kept holy. Freedom, Redemption International, Repatriation. The Poor People Government internationally through human rights. Black Congress, King of Salem. The people above all kingdoms stand, governmental, statical, parliamental, churchical, and sabbatical. Formerly at 54B, Spanish Town Road, now headquartered at 10 miles Bull Bay, Pio St. Andrew, Jamaica. Mission of the King. Victory of good over evil. Holy Selassie.
Yeah, Rastafari.
Right. And this is officially written 9th of November 1992, 1992/93, and was re-edited for the 4th of July, 2012,
Wow.
2030. Yes, my lord, you say?
Next one.
You're saying, King? Sorry, we missed that.
I was just saying is I was just observing the documents and I noticed this two powerful dates because when I look at it again,
July, yes.
November the 9th, 1992, 93. So, I just look at it on a pre-spar Earth Day still, and then I see July 4th in American independence again. And we look at that, So that I was just looking at there.
So 9 to the 9th. Okay, that's a 2 9s there, no, because Nov is 9.
Yeah, so it's 9th of November, the honorary pre-spar, we already that.
Yeah.
So I was looking at the date and then looking at July 4th.
Yes, powers, man.
Yeah.
Powers. To my lord. Well, I will just begin with the first maybe 1-2 paragraph, and then after any such reasoning. And again, to the family, this is not if I must just say quickly still, although this is not in the black supremacy. Even I, the first time I held on to the black supremacy, maybe it's just because of the religious background we're coming from. I had the black supremacy like it was in a religious book. Somehow I was looking into it to see the rules and regulations of being a Bobo Shanti. It started off with the Sabbath, but differently than that, it just went into a lot of, correspondence and telegrams and these kind of things that the Almighty King Emmanuel had between heads of states, heads of government. And of course, yes, still, there were words of wisdom more in the latter part of the book still. But, it really highlighted the aspect of King Emmanuel, as we said, previous program, King, when the man asked him first question, tell me about your religion. What is your religion about? He didn't say, well, Matthew said to Mark. He said, my religion is freedom, redemption, international repatriation. And he never went into no scripture. He just went down the line. So the listeners going to grasp the importance of focusing on what's happening on the ground, even when we're seeking for the divinity in man. My Lord, let me continue here. Blessed Lord, yes, my Lord and Empress, Prince and Princess. Freedom, redemption, and international repatriation. Let me just take this out here. Bam. I, the most right honorable King Emmanuel Charles Edwards, and my Congress, the Ethiopia Africa Black International Congress, formerly headquartered at 54B Spanish Town Road, Kingston, Jamaica, now headquartered at 10 Miles Bull Bay, St. Andrew, Jamaica, of which I am president and founder, has been registered in the United Nations since 1967 during the time of Secretary General Utah. That's a good way to start. Right off the bat, you make it know, well,
Beautiful.
this is my authority here.
Right.
The first conference that the United Nations held in Jamaica was at Myrtle Bank Hotel in 1967. This conference was held by the United Nations Division of Human Rights under the director, Mr. Mark Scriber. During that time, I made an appointment to see Mr. Scriber, but was informed that I could not see him. I proceeded to write him a letter dated the 28th of April, April 28, 1967, concerning I and my people's right to freedom, redemption, and international repatriation to Ethiopia, Africa, and the brutal conditions that we are being held under by the Jamaican government, past and present. I responded to him that I responded to him that he should do so because I want a deliverance for my people. He concluded, that's Mr. Mark Scriber we're talking about, he concluded that by saying that when he returned to New York, I would receive a response. I followed through with 2 letters to their New York office dated November 3rd and 4th, 1967. So the father followed up. In 1968, I received a letter dated April 15th over the signature Mr. G.N. Siketo, Human Rights Officer, Division of Human Rights, acknowledging receipt of my letter mentioned above and informing me that a copy of my first communication was transmitted to the government of Jamaica in accordance to Resolution 728F. And that's Roman numeral 28. That's it, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. 28 of the Economic and Social Council. All right. Now, I wonder if we should say a quick thing there. Because, I mean, I know everyone understands, and as we just say, the book or the document speak for itself plainly. But sometimes, we need just a little bit of explanation so we clearly understand what's going on here. 1967, not too far from the Carroll Gardens massacre. You don't know. And even 1967 was a brutal year for Rasta still. Nobody take, nobody with no Rasta man and nothing. But you have now,
Malcolm X killing all them things.
Yeah, nobody. But you have here the United Nations Division of Human Rights, under the director, Mr. Mark Scriber. And Mr. Mark Scriber, the king, get an audience, write a letter, he disappeared, the king follow up, and then the king get a response in 1968 under Mr. G.N. Siketo, Human Rights Officer, Division of Human Rights, acknowledging the letter and showing him that his communications was transmitted to the government of Jamaica in accordance with Resolution 728F of Economic and Social Council. Now, even though somebody, whoever listening or whoever may not understand all that language, but the point is, it is not a fable that the bubble them does keep up when man say that King Emmanuel have a direct connection with the UN. We don't read nothing yet, No, man, we didn't even start yet. When we say that the father have a seat in the UN, when the father say his name on the rostral, man feel you're making up something here. and some guy make believe thing you on. But if you notice, and when we continue, ones will see, his names we calling, the king telling you exactly who write him, who come and look for him. We're gonna get all of that. The date and time that they come. I mean, you can't get no more serious than that. My lord, yeah, I say.
Yes, Majesty, give thanks here. Checking there. That's the third paragraph.
Yeah.
Yeah, the third paragraph right there. So it's to let the congregation know, because right there it said, I responded to him that he should do so. Right. So it's showing that he proceeded with a letter dated April 28, 1967. So one of the things now, if those who are following the Honorable King Emmanuel Charles Edwards letters, they would realize that right there, right there, they had spoken and asked me if he wanted his name on the roster. And if he said yes, no one can take it off. And if he said no, no one can put it on. So it's not right there. So when you look at the third paragraph, it said, I responded to him that he should do so because I want a deliverance of my people. Now that is coming from the reason that went on there that said, if you want his name on the roster or not. So that's why he's showing that I responded to him that he should do so. You understand? So just for the listening ears to hear there. But as I say again, names are called, this is not like it's a make-up thing. And people could go there and study. They have Google, they can Google and laugh and even giggle in this time and realize these names are there. And these are people you can go into the videotape there when His Majesty visit the United States, and you could see Secretary General Youthant also there greeting the Emperor right there. So we give thanks.
Your Majesty. So you continue. We'll just continue. So
at the time.
Yeah. At the time of my first communication with the United Nations, the Honorable Hugh L. Shearer was the Jamaican ambassador to such body. The Prime Minister of Jamaica at that time was Donald Sangster, who had taken over from Sir Alexander Bustamante because of illness. In 1968, Honorable Hugh Shearer became Prime Minister after the death of Sangster. It was during the reign of Hugh Shearer that the United Nations sent the letter aforementioned to the Jamaican government, which called for them to fulfill the rights of I and my people, the Black suffering masses, of freedom, redemption, and international repatriation through Article 10 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which has not been done up to this day. I want this matter to be dealt with now. Now, before I continue, just to make clear, that's the letter, that's the correspondence that was done in accordance with resolution 728F, Roman numeral number 28 of the Economic and Social Council. So, make up thing. If we were in court, the judge would say, all right, what does the defense have to say? Yes, sir. In 1967 to 1968, I was fully accepted. Now hear this, In 1967, 1968, I was fully accepted and recognized by the United Nations as an international defender of human rights and justice. And then Bobo, as I say, so then they just start. Okay, none of my letters to the United Nations went through the post office, but were officially received by Mr. Courts, who was the then resident representative of the United Nations to Jamaica and placed in the official mailbag of Secretary General Utah for him to receive. but that's serious. It was declared by the United Nations representative, Mr. Robert Crooks. See, the man, if for one thing, everybody know King Emmanuel alive. He was thing the man saying in this letter. Even one thing, like whether you believe here Christ or not, if it's one thing, man will tell you, if one thing is a full man. Yeah, one thing about Eddie. So what a letter here. He said about Mr. Robert Cook. So what did the UN representative, Mr. Robert Cook, say? He said that I am the champion of human rights. Now, I mean, as I said, the king calling names, just Mr. Robert Cook, the UN representative, he said that the man is a champion of human rights. Mr. Roy Courts, who was the resident representative, would come and make sure that he get the father mail. Nobody have to go to the post office. You know what I mean? And since 1967, he was recognized by the United Nations as an international defender of human rights and justice under Secretary General Utah. Yes, my lord, you say?
Yes, Majesty. So we give thanks to the official works of the ambassador of the king, Most Right Honorable King Emmanuel Charles Edwards, diplomacy, because even I see, even from there, because sometimes a man might go and say the door shut and him turn back. But from the first time they try to bar him out, there's another way to get himself in. Writing letter. You see? So he put himself in till he put himself all the way in. You see it? And when you look at it now, it says declared as an international defender of human rights. He said none of his letters to the United Nations went through the post office. Because nothing can be the real right there. It was officially placed in his mailbox. So you see, yeah, I received by Mr. Quartz, who was the resident representative of the United Nations to Jamaica. So even from that time when the United Nations say, bring up this man through Article 10 of the Universal Declaration, everyone is entitled in full equality to a fair and public hearing by an independent and impartial tribunal in determination of its rights and obligations. So that is Article 10 there. So therefore, it's not a hide and seek thing to bring up the man. That's why Marcus Garvey tells us they shall bring the man to parade. Let him speak. Because remember the father said, even in the video, they say, his voice will all. And that is the voice that they don't want to hear. But as I say, there are names that have been called right here and would like the public, the audience to really listen. When you talk about the Most Right Honorable King Emmanuel Charles Edwards and his diplomatic works, and we say he's an ambassador. Because remember, every house will say they have a mandate,
Yes, sir.
King Emmanuel Charles Edwards has his mission. And his mission, no one else has taken out that mission. That is the mission, of repatriation. And from the go ahead, and start to declare what his Congress is all about. And we give thanks. So we'll continue because, many things here to be said in this document.
No, man, I see the elders in the bubble they say, man must just throw in the towel,
Yeah, man, throw it.
Yeah, I come to realize, what it's all about. This is a throw in the towel moment. Nobody tries to change you. You can be who you be, man, but it's obvious, man. Come, throw in the towel. This is a throw in the towel moment.
Because when you see the honorary priest Isaac, with everything that some people is coming out with, and they're going through the hard struggle and about the repatriation and reparation and all these things, it is done already. All those channels that people want, those doors open already. There's names that are written, my lord.
Yes, my lord. You want to go through? I want to go through. I good, you know. It's up to that.
Yeah, man, go through, man.
All right. So
Right.
now let's continue reading Royal Family. Those who are just coming in, of course, they don't know this is welcome to the House of Priests. You know, every Sunday we gather and, you know, we come here to count no cows at all. It's obvious that we're drinking the sincere milk. So we're reading a document from 1993, 92, 92, 93. And again, you know, King, there is some interesting time when the father write them this specific document today. Yeah, this is not an 80s document. This is not even a 90 document. 1990, this is 92, 93. Feast of the Passover soon coming in. So you could see the mind frame at this time here.
Africa mission complete and them things, you know.
Good point. Yes, yes.
Constitution given.
True.
Same
What year
thing
the
here.
Constitution came up? What year the Constitution came up?
1991, 92.
91, 92. How was my lord? Same time the parliament formed, same time.
Everything officially. So you see the official government now, that's repatriation mission. It is done. It is finished was his cry because you're going into now. It is done. It is finished was his cry. Because it going up, leading up to the mission now of it is done. What more can Negos do? Lay the foundation, open wide the doors, so all door open. Guy. It's not just the door of 10 miles will be pure St. Angina. All doors. He has laid the foundation and opened wide the door. So all doors open. You can't catch.
Yeah, they make it clear there a while ago. Yeah, everything happened 90. It's true, man. This is spend a little moment there coming forward, you know, but it's true for those who may not get it. You know, King Emmanuel set out the African mission, 2 missions, if I'm not mistaken, you know, but yet to more than 2 countries, Nigeria, Ghana, Ethiopia, involved in these missions. You know, and 92, 93, 94, getting very close to even when the Honorable King Emmanuel, even depart from our presence. So there's a lot of mystic spirit and energy even the time of this letter. And yeah, I might be more familiar with a lot of these documents, but I don't think I've ever come across a document with such a concentrated collaboration of back-to-back name calling and facts to make you understand, hey, listen, I'm going to speak in the raw back. Why are they dealing with? You know, check what going on.
Because the document, as I say, I see that document.
Yeah.
You know, the full summary of everything. The whole summary of everything gonna speak out in that document. You're gonna tell about authority of who he is and everything. Because remember, I say all this leading up to also the sealer document again, the 4-point document of repatriation. So all of this going into right there.
True. And when that 4-point came out, that same just after this.
And that is a sealer document for 1994.
That's the God. That was the last document.
Yeah, that's a mission. That's the sealing mission there. 4-point document. That's it. It is done. It is finished.
It's really finished. Now ascended on high.
That's
It's finished. Right. That's the part. Continue reading. After Secretary General Utan, Secretary General of the United Nations, received my communications, the United Nations told the Jamaican government to bring me up to the attention. Hey, sorry, I gonna return. You see, the mystic, you know, even when I come into bubble, you know, you hear some things that King Emmanuel say, and you know, even to you, it sounds a little, it just maybe not catching on the history, something, all the thing when man say Christ crucified in Jamaica, a heap of things. And Queen Victoria, especially the one with Queen Victoria come and turn flag upside down, and so it kind of foggy in the mind. But as a historian, and I continue, even the program, I don't know if they see the program I did with Honorable Priest Anthony Moret, how we break down what the Ethiopian flag go through. And you know, when you look into a lot of these things, you see where King, you just wonder, wait, so how King Emmanuel we know the history there? When, when even historians would battle you and say, no, man, nothing can go so. And I'm saying that when I'm reading this, because there are many things the father said when the king paid him the special visit in 1970. You know, to be honest, the powers that King Emmanuel exhibit to us, if you can't disprove that, a man don't have no choice but to just back up and just. I tell you, King Emmanuel has proven himself every single time that if something sounds just a little bit too spooky for you, that's just you.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll continue, my lord. After Secretary General, sorry, you said bad.
No, everything good, man.
Yeah. After Secretary General Newton received my communications, the United Nations told the Jamaican government to bring me up to the attention of the public as an international defender of human rights. That's what we're talking. At first, to Nuffpan, Emmanuel doesn't say we, but after reading what we read, this only makes sense.
Yes, right.
The government under the leadership of Mr. Shearer ignored this cause. Mr. Shearer, trying to shear the sheep, pretended as if he was going to do it when he sent an invitation to me, you see, to attend a Human Rights Award presentation. That alone showed guilt. The fact that he sent the invitation alone showed that, oh, so you know that I'm here.
Right.
Yeah. The Marcus Garvey Award, which was to be given to me, was given to Miss Coretta King instead. Give thanks to the ancestor. We love her. He again called me to the national arena, but said nothing about me to the public. And that has been the case to this day. Yeah, and coming down with his judgment. The Jamaican government still continued to sabotage my rights by breaking off my international communication with the United Nations head office in New York at the time when our brothers of the Organization of African Unity, OAU, requested that I, Prince Edwards, now King Edwards, be brought forth to work out the necessary details concerning the international repatriation of the Black African slave children in the West. No, what, Bongo Eddie make that up too? I tell you, that's some heavy stuff. The OAU don't reach out to King Emmanuel family. Oh man, so yeah, man, we you know. But this thing about the communication, there's something mystic about it. But let me continue. I know when it comes to the Gleaner and all of this stuff, they are all going to come like you go all into the Gleaner library to dig up some of the information you come with. These communications were broken off between 1969 and 1970, when the government under Mr. Shearer as Prime Minister, Honorable Hector Winter as Minister of External Affairs, and Honorable Edward Siaga as Parliament member, destroyed, the honorable people here, destroyed my then headquarters at 54B Spanish Town Road, Kingston, destroyed in the process my United Nations flag, houses, church, and drums used in the church. They proceeded to report to the United Nations office in New York that I was dead. One thing I love that data a lot. Effectively cutting off my communications and blatantly sabotaging the rights of the poor and have-nots. The height of sabotaging was demonstrated when at the same time it was printed in the Jamaican Daily Gleaner under the editorship of Theodore Seeley. Hey, the king of pull all them out right. This same newspaper in their affiliate paper, The Star, under the editorship of Hector Winter, printed later in 1978 that I sacrificed babies. I tell you, so the king ready to deal with them. Through great skill and hard work, hear this now, hear this. Hear the chess player. This reminds me of the emperor. Through great skill, we tell you, great skill, the man say. Through great skill and hard work, my communications with the United Nations was revived. In 1981, victory again, during the tenure of Secretary General Javier Perez, I think it's pronounced Decular, when Mr. Jacob Jory, the then resident representative of the UN, visited my headquarters at 10 miles Bull Bay on August the 27th. Hey, you're lucky to get the exact time the man stepped in. When he saw the works that I was doing towards human rights, he told the congregation gathered that they were safe and that under my skillful guidance, they would reach where they are going. Holy Emmanuel. Jah, Rastafari. Family say the thing heavy. You know what I mean? The thing serious. In fact, I'm gonna just try read it out. You want to just read off everything? Because I wanted just to make a kind of comment with when he says the communications were cut off.
Yes, Majesty. That's yeah.
Yeah, when they say the communications were cut off, I don't see the elders say that the father changed his name to Jacob Abraham.
That's the part, right?
Yeah, Jacob Abraham. So the letters that's coming in the name Jacob Abraham instead of King Emmanuel for a little time, I guess, until he, through skillful guidance.
Right.
He got come like I getting a little of the win again in the mic, you know, just be careful there. I hear vroom, vroom, vroom. I'm sure if it's what I don't think is my end.
No win there, Majesty.
Okay. All right, that's what I'll make sure. Okay, fair enough. But what I say with the Jacob Abraham name though?
Yes.
Yeah, the missing name is Isaac.
Mm-hmm.
I remember it's Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
And if it missing, it a missing. Isaac, I give him last name, Jacob Abraham. Isaac, I speak.
Joe. Yeah. Give thanks very lot. That's what it is.
Isaac, same way, you know? Yeah.
So let me cut. Anything to say about what we just read? Because I know it's a lot of things. Hector Winter, the Gleaner, he dead, he sacrificed children. I mean, a heap of scene. Next UN man come down and say, yeah, man, your thing running good. Yeah. Skillfully reconnect to the UN. Man, there's a lot of jewels in this letter, man.
Because different representative again, and then again they have another representative. Remember the first representative said, international. I tell you that he's a crown champion of human rights. A resident representative come again and tell us you are in safe hands.
Yes, sir.
You see it? So even when they burned down 54B Spanish Town Road and its communications were cut off, they never just cut off like that, because we have to see what's going on there. The Jamaica government get the chance through Youth El Shira to bring up King Emmanuel Charles Edwards. He pretended. So he can't say, yeah, man, he could even prove by even give them a photocopy, said, this is the invitation I sent for him. So I did follow up and send for him, but he did not do what they say he's supposed to do.
You smart boy.
Because That's how governments work, they pretend and they call you up there. And they think they could fool the honorable man. It was Marcus Garvey. Hector Winter did already say this is the second Marcus Garvey in the country. So even when they give Coretta King the Marcus Garvey Award and try to belittle him, and then they call him again at the national arena again, because one of the priests always say they try to give him the national arena, like catering, and try to give him fried dumpling. And then think, you see, when him eat this, what him children I'm going to get, like him come for food, he never come for any food. Him come for his voice. You understand? So the Jamaica government is a continually to sabotage. So this document is showing the people near, far, the world abroad, that the Jamaica government is sabotaging the rights of Freedom Redemption International Repatriation.
That is the moral of the story of this documentary. Yeah.
Because remember, other further documents lead up to this. As we said, this is a summary. The address was changed from 54B Spanish Town Road and changed to 54 AC. So if the United Nations is used to send documents to me at 54B Spanish Town Road, you burn them a camp, I'm not there no more. When the United Nations come, they could even say, hey, you know that 54B Spanish Town burned down. Where's King Emmanuel? But so when United Nations come, there's no sign there because it is 54 AC, So there's no place called 54B. That means it's something, so the communication is broken. And that's about through skillful hard work, it was revitalized because you can't keep this man down. That is like a crucifixion again. And the man resurrect again on top of the hill to fulfill prophecy. So we give thanks to the communications. And you see, the Jamaica government, again, do not respect anyone, because the United Nations tell them to bring up the man. And they even went into the man foundation and destroyed the United Nations banner. So even the Jamaica government is in violation to destroy. Because remember, national law can't rule international law. They destroyed the banners of the UN, which signified world peace. So Jamaica is in deep waters, that's judgment.
Holy Emmanuel, Selassie, Jah, Rastafari. Yes, royal family, give thanks for your patience thus far, going through a wonderful document here that sure giving us great strength and light. And this is now, we are on the third page here. We're going to continue. Enough information and vibrations to go through. Continue on reading. In 1983, was it the Honorable King Emmanuel Charles? In 1983, I met with Mr. Bhagwat Singh, who was working at the UN Seabed Authority as a special representative to the Secretary General for the Law of the Sea, Bhagwat Singh. During our meeting, he said that all my documents to the United Nations from Mr. Utan's days were recorded. I hear something in there. I don't know if it's on my end. I hear something kind of rumbling. Let me see. Just mute for me in a second, King. Let me just see something. Pardon. Let me see if it's my end. I'm not hearing it for the moment. Okay, let's hold that for me, Honorable. Let's come back here. In 1983, I met Mr. Bhagwat Singh, who was working at the UN Seabed Authority as a special representative to the Secretary General for the Law of the Sea. During our meeting, he said that all my documents to the United Nations from Mr. Utan days were recorded. All. He further stated that when they were received, an emergency meeting, let me repeat that. He further stated that when they were received, an emergency meeting was held to run through them and everything was in perfect order. Who tell he that? Mr. Bag was saying in 1983. Who he? He was working at the UN Seabed Authority. All right. No. Even another letter, I don't know if it's mentioned in this, even in another letter, although this say, I think he may be mentioning this, although he said he was working at the Seabed Authority. Another document, sure, just work, he was working there, he's the head. Of the Seabed Authority. But I don't know if he mentioned in this one, but anyway, let me just continue there quickly. He further stated that when they were received, an emergency meeting was held to run through them and everything was in perfect order. He concluded with the words that he would be returning to New York, after which I would receive documents from the UN. Those which I needed, I could keep, and those I did not, I could send back to them. I was also informed by Mr. Singh in a letter dated March 24, 1983, that he had received my letter dated the 17th of March, 1983, on the subject of international repatriation, and that it would be subjected to the chief of non-governmental organization section, as well as the Division of Human Rights at the United Nations headquarters in New York. No document has reached me from that time to now. I'm going to read over that again. And Honorable Priest, I know earlier, even off the ear, we were kind of mentioning this. I don't know if you want to talk about that here, but I'm going to read that sentence again with the non-governmental vibration. I was also informed by Mr. Singh, maybe on the mute too, right, when you're ready to talk. I was also informed by Mr. Singh in a letter dated March 24, 1983, that he had received my letter dated March 17th, 1983, on the subject of international repatriation, and that it would be subjected to the chief of non-governmental organization section, as well as the Division of Human Rights at the UN headquarters in New York. No document has reached me from that time to now. Continue. When I met with Mr. Bhagwat Singh, Honorable Hugh Shearer was then Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs, wherein he was in a position to stop anything coming to me, thereby sabotaging my efforts. Ever since my first communications with the United Nations, from the days when he was ambassador to the UN to now, he has always been in the position to sabotage my works, which he has used his portfolio to do. He was doing so from 1967 at the UN office in Jamaica at First Lady Musgrave Road, Kingston. A secretary of the UN office by the name of Miss Edwards disclosed all my letters to the UN and those coming to me to Mr. Shearer for him to do whatever he wanted to do with them. Miss Edwards said, I have called upon the UN on several occasions to send a human rights team down here to investigate human rights violations by the Jamaican government, particularly incidents involving Honorable Hugh L. Shearer, and I have also sought justice from the International Court of Justice, and nothing has been done concerning this. I have therefore now put forth these points for rectification from the United Nations as an international body that stands to see human rights ministered to everyone. But both the have and the have-nots. I call for a team of international lawyers to see this done paramountly. The United Nations is to send a human rights team to check out what is going on in Jamaica against the suffering masses, and also Mr. Shearer is to be called along with Senator Oswald Hardin, who was his deputy minister in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and to whom he has given a key to a bank which Mr. Shearer said he should not open in his, Shearer's, lifetime. Let them declare to the law court what is in that bank and what Mr. Shearer has done to all the documents of repatriation he received from the United Nations and from His Imperial Majesty, Emperor Haile Selassie I, when he visited Jamaica in 1966, and also from Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. Mr. Shearer knows about these papers because when I sought out from former Governor General, the late Sir Clifford Campbell, about such documents, I was told by his daughter that I should check Mr. Shearer. Yeah, praise Farai. Jah, Rastafari. Like this document is a Shearer document. My Lord. Saying anything in the interim?
Yes, Majesty. So you see, all of those people that violating the Honorable King Emmanuel, Charles Edwards, and we are in the show that everything is in the Jamaica government. And so it shows you that even there, you share, as I said, as a youth, they will always say, share, sell out him, share out the people, them. It's a words uttering from that time, but one on one couldn't put together properly to make the two people never get the fullness. But people always have this name for him, Shearer. You see, because you see the man is in the position, and that's why he did such a work on the Honorable King Emmanuel Charles Edwards. As we said before, he understand what is going on. That's why he pretend like he sent invitation to him, because he is working so closely with the United Nations, because he's the Minister of Foreign Affairs. So he's in every position to violate, to sabotage Honorable King Emmanuel Charles Edwards' work. And the people of Jamaica, fundamental rights of freedom, redemption, international repatriation. That is why the Honorable King Emmanuel Charles Edwards have to just call upon the United Nations. People share say in his lifetime. So as we spoke of the strong before, we say, even I and I as Boba Shanti, I give thanks to such program as this, sending out there because the world has to take on to itself flesh. So there's a cause. We have something to speak about, something to agitate for. Many of these people, they're dead and gone, but whosoever is in authority, whosoever sits in the seat is responsible. Because right here, the Jamaica government, Jamaica Labour Party is a fraud government. No matter what they do, their leader, their founder, Bustamante, is found traitor. His adopted son, UL Shearer, continue the works. And it said it is in their powers also, along with the opposition government that has the rights of the people, and sit down upon the people's rights. Sit down upon the people. And in that bank, you see the three persons, the three names are called. United Nations document, Emperor Haile Selassie visitation, Queen Elizabeth II documents. It's just a judgment, So the man is able to see everything is right there, everything worked out.
Yes, I know. We give thanks.
Oh my God.
Well, continue and read it. This document now demands demand time now. This document now demands through the UN and the OAU, Organization of African Unity, freedom, redemption, and international repatriation of all slave children from the West to Ethiopia, Africa, with transportation of a fleet of high water ships stretching for 7, 9, or if necessary, 30 miles. This is to come from Queen Elizabeth and the British government, Attorney General and Privy Council, also the United States, France, Spain, Portugal, Holland, and all who benefited from slavery. I got real reparation there, boy. This is to be done through the Jamaican government and parliament of Prime Minister P.J. Patterson, Governor General Sir Howard Cook, Foreign Affairs Minister Honorable David Core, Justice Minister Honorable K.D. Knight, Attorney General Carl Rattray, Opposition Leader and former Prime Minister Honorable Edward Seaga, former Foreign Affairs Minister Honorable Hugh Shearer, Honorable Hector Winter, former External Affairs Minister and widow, and former Secretary of the late Alexander Bustamante, Lady Bustamante. I have surpassed the rulers of Jamaica and the world. That's it. Ask Queen Elizabeth to tell you who I am. In 1966, during her visit to Jamaica, I sent to her at King's House the emblems of the red, gold, and green, and the red, black, and green, along with the black flag. She bowed her head to them and declared that there is an individual man in this country whom no one must molest. From time to come, he shall be lord over her lot. Prior to that, in 1948-49, I visited the office of the Brigadier General of the British Army in Jamaica at Up Park Camp, who ran from his office, leaving I standing there, and had to be retrieved by two high-ranking officers. According to Army protocol, a brigadier must not run from his office, for whoever he leaves behind becomes head of the army, subsequently the country and the entire crown head. I have done all these things to prove my authority. Therefore, my demand on behalf of my people must be met now through the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, starting from Article 1, continuing to 15, straight through to 30. The Black Crown Head calls for this to be fulfilled by all world heads of government, such as Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II and the British Prime Minister John Major, also President-elect of the United States, Mr. Bill Clinton. Everyone is to find back their own vine and fig tree through prophecy and history, Micah 4, Isaiah 43, and Joel chapter 3, also through international law, namely Article 15 of the Declaration of Human Rights. I call for the UN, the International Law Court, and all international lawyers to seek out these points of a right so that I and my people would be justified. God bless you all to do so now. I am the Most Right Honorable King Emmanuel Charles Edwards, Brother Moses, the Lord's servant, the Black Christ in flesh, Ethiopian Royal Ambassador of the Mission of the King, Crown Champion of Human Rights, Human Justice, President General of the EABIC, Church of Salvation, INRI, I, Negus Rule Israelite, Holy Emmanuel, Selassie, Jah, Rastafari. Yes, Royal Family Day, you have it.
Yeah.
1992, 9th November. Basically, what has been now dubbed letter How is it double to the UN document?
Document.
UN document. Interesting. Yes, Royal Family. So again, even from the beginning, I was really just highlighting, it's obvious that if you want to say on a realistic or on a humanistic level, outside of any belief, religion, or anything, there's something about the man that we should at least respect, revere, look into, at least. For all this time, yes, we know he do a lot of good works, and we know he definitely has a resilience. He keep up with the methodology that he has, and he really on it. Good. But the response, although the response was still crookish and devious and treacherous, but yet still there was a genuine reach out that you wouldn't really expect from that world, let's just say to the Rasta world, and being referred to as champion of human rights. Certain privileges where even his correspondence didn't reach to the UN like the regular person. The representative would come and get it and carry it back himself. And these little different things, very important, very touching as well, and really shows that Prince Emmanuel is, definitely one of the foremost revolutionaries on the front line. Yeah. Holy Emmanuel, Selassie, Jah, Rasta. Yes, my Lord.
Yes, Majesty, give thanks. Give thanks to the crown champion of human rights and justice. I say he has surpassed all leaders and rulers. Like I said, ask Queen Elizabeth about it. Why? You see, it is there, it is written there from the Brigadier General one. But one of the part we're speaking about, priest, when it said it was referred to the non-governmental organization.
Sure, yeah,
the division of human rights. And we see we are in even 2007, 2008 coming up there, we are in the NGO Department of the United Nations did contact the Honorable King Emmanuel Charles Edwards, the Bowashan headquarters there. So many people ask and wonder about this NGO document that is going around. And you see it right there. It was mentioned, you understand? His government was mentioned to the non-governmental organization as well as division of human rights. So it's two places right there, two sections there. It was represented. So one will reach out before the next, but it was two places there with everything that is going on. Because remember, if they stand to do a right, they will have to take heed to the word that is coming unto them. And that's why they were acting, because when you look at that document again where it said, he wrote them on March 17, so it did not take fully seven days, because, probably the letter, if it has reached 17, it reached 18. So within
4 days.
Yeah, it was a corresponding right there again.
Quick, what you
on time. So it's a long drawn out thing. So that shows you the dialogue, the communication that has been going on right there. So King Emmanuel is working restlessly without any rest, resting Jacob on his mission, on the mission. And when you look at it, as we're speaking about the documents, you see the works from the visitation of the Queen March, the visitation of His Majesty from 1966, the kind of works that has been pushing forth from that time. Because when you look at it again, remember to read the Shiraz document, it shows you that when they had a meeting, they had a meeting in New York, and it showed that His Majesty was there. And And His Majesty, when he hear everything, he said, everything done now. And Yeshua said, he will start again. I remember at that meeting also, one leader that said they would free their people. And he said, Shira said, because he spoke first, let him go ahead. Now Shira tell him, said, because he spoke first to go ahead. And the next year, Shira would free the people of Jamaica. And when they checked him again upon that word, he said he was just talking. You see, so you see the heights of sabotage that is going on. So
Shira was holding a lot of power there, man.
True, man. When you look at that document, there, we study that document, as we say, it's a summary of every single thing that take place. So he's showing his full authority now, because I remember reading that documents once and he was saying, from the brigadier run, House of Representative closed down, Governor Youfoot run from King's House, the Queen hand over to him, and the Emperor came to him and said, by right, he should be ruling Jamaica with all of these authority, but it's freedom, redemption, international repatriation. It's that Jamaica is dealing with. Yeah. All powers Daniel, in Babylon. Daniel never take the rulership.
That obvious.
Yes,
that obvious. And say he's among all heads of state right now, all rulers upon the earth. Yeah, a couple things, as you said, one the March 17th letter got a reply like 4 days. I counted it while I reading. I said, what this? Even while I reading it, I said, it's quick. Quick respond, and that shows something. You don't just respond to any. Even while I reading it, I say, the man was in Jamaica too, man. Even if he was, it's still a quick response to just and as he said, I think is one of the representatives told him, even from the days of U times, a long time ago, every letter that you send, emergency meeting call over each letter. No, what is that? Don't hear
that. So you see how the father really deal with the Jamaica government and the United Nations, because he can present such letter to United Nations, because remember, it's not a little unorganized people, it is United Nations, whether they want to deal with these rights now or they don't want to deal with it now. But all these documents, it's not like some people governing business out here, but these governments that always rob people money and they can't find that. So all documents are put together when it comes to United Nations. No missing document not there. So even the time when the communication was broken off, the documents were there, because remember, they had to have documents here because they were still sending out documents, but they couldn't get any response.
True.
When
intercepted the documents.
So when Mr. Shearer and all these people know things went
on, Miss Edwards,
and they think that they could get away. Everything is right there. So names were called, from that time: P.J. Patterson, Howard Cook, Sihagia, and these people, Bill Clinton.
Yes.
That were in power at position at that moment of time.
Yeah.
Work is going through there at that moment of time.
They have a document with King Emmanuel when he write Bill Clinton too.
Yes.
I think it's 1994.
Yes. All of those people get the seal a letter. So as well, Deputy Prime Minister. So they always have their inchmen. So as well Arden also, who was his deputy right there in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. All of them know about it. And is in the 2000 many of those people drop out, out of Earth, Lady Bustamante, all these people there.
Well, again, this one just showed to the people again, if they never really pick it up, the reality of it, eh? And when we start to talk about heroes and revolutionary fighters and all of that, this is not just a religious figure. It's not just a holy figure and guy you have on some mystic clothes and he's floating. You can see it's much more than that. It's one of them, again, revolutionary fighters that come amongst the Menelik the second business, take up the weapon to defend I. That's really what happened. The presence of King Emmanuel Charles Edwards with us. Yes, my lord, we can look to see of this one here. I think justice was done to that one there for sure this evening. I know the family, as we say, we're going into the 10th of December, so at least we get the ball rolling, if you want to use that term there. I don't know if that's the best.
Kick off.
Well, there you go. Going into the 10th of December, the feast of the Passover. So I know we'll about next 2 strong, next 3 strong. The energy will be here. So I give thanks personally on my part for the family coming in this evening. And I wonder if there's any way we could share this letter here now. Let me see. Yeah, we could share this letter here, Honorable Empress, with anyone that desire. Yes, anyone that desire a copy of this letter, they could just email us, preciseaginstitute.com. That's the website there, where they can go there too. But you can email us, preciseaginstitute@gmail.com, preciseaginstitute@gmail.com, and you can get a copy of that letter there. For sure, I'm sure ones would be, I can't see who would want a copy of that. If you want a copy of that. Yeah, just check us and we send you a copy of it for sure, without a doubt. Yes, my Lord, give thanks. I will just, leave the floor to the eye for any sealing words. And of course, you could seal us with a blessing going forward and life giver, the keeper of life.
That's the just that I would like to speak upon that one line, not speak upon it, but iterate and to sing it again. I have surpassed the rulers of Jamaica and the world. Ask Queen Elizabeth II to tell you who I am. Most High Selassie Jah. So we give thanks to the crown champion of human rights and justice. We give thanks, as you say, a revolutionary. Not with guns and bayonet, but the pen is mightier than the sword. And he did right. And it is written. And it is done. So likewise, the knowledge is there in this time for us as a people. So sometimes people ask this question, what about repatriation? So they think it's a joke thing, like it was like a fairy tale thing. It's not a spaceship or a stargazer thing. It's a reality. And there are works that has been done, and there are works that are doing. So the Father said, throw in your towel. That's why I say, all Rastaman, all must come and throw in a towel. The voice of the people is the voice of God. The voice of the people bring forth 7, 9, or 30 miles up by watership. The voice of the people asks of fundamental freedom, redemption, international repatriation. It's not coming out and bawling for new roads and new this and that. Africa is your home. King Emmanuel Charles Edwards, you call upon your heads of government and members of the Congress who are in the states and different places. But remember, that is why sometimes people wonder there's a works, there's something to be done in that island there on the equator, Egypt, Jamaica, where Melchizedek sit, because that is where the repatriation, movement was taking place from. And it's still the things that will still be done because the voice must utter. For down the valley of Jehoshaphat, they will plead with them for his people, for his inheritance. Understand? And that is what is going on there. So the voice of the people is the voice of God. So it's to call upon the world heads of leaders and the government. Understand? We can't sit down and wait in this time, as Marcus Garvey said, desire the kind of leadership that will give us Africa as quickly as possible. So we give thanks to every King Emmanuel Charles Edwards work, and the desires in each and every one also to go forth and do what has to be done. Give thanks to every priest. As I say, you'll publish a document and conceal that, because that's what the Father said, and I have to do it in this time. And every household, if you have a Bible in your house, you also need this document in your house upon the shed for the generation, the posterity to know. Because as His Majesty said, it says by education, and these are our documents, these are that are missing. This is what you never learn in university and colleges. This is what is here that is coming from the Jerusalem schoolroom. Give thanks to the Holistic Institute and the Priest Isaac Institute that is publishing and concealing that, and Radio Honor, TV, YouTube channels in this time. So give thanks again. Human Rights Day is coming up. So do human rights, defend the human rights wherever you may be. So give thanks to life and every priest and royals, engineers. Blessed love. Give thanks. Empress, Prince and Princess. Blessed.
Thanks. Pause going out, my God.
My Lord.
For Emmanuel that's yeah. Love to the royal family.